When the world learned that Diane Keaton had passed away, Hollywood seemed to exhale one long, painful breath. The City of Lights grew quiet, almost reverent, for a woman who had shaped entire eras of romantic cinema. And then, after years of silence, Keanu Reeves finally spoke. It happened at a New York premiere. His eyes were tired, his expression heavy. For over 2 decades, the industry had whispered about what might have been between him and Diane. That night, Keanu finally admitted it. Their love was real. It wasn't a Hollywood stunt or a press story. It was a quiet, complicated, and deeply human connection. Before we dive deeper into this extraordinary story, if you love hearing the real, hidden histories behind old and new Hollywood, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep uncovering the forgotten love stories behind the spotlight. Their story began in the fall of 2002 on the sunny Los Angeles set of Something's Gotta Give. Diane was 56, sharp, witty, and still dazzling audiences as a romantic lead. Keanu was 38, soft-spoken with jet black hair and a quiet presence that made every glance feel meaningful. They were cast opposite each other in Nancy Meyers' romantic comedy. Diane played Erica Berry, a confident playwright, while Keanu portrayed Julian Mercer, the young doctor who falls in love with her. During those first awkward kissing scenes, Diane joked that it felt like kissing her own son, a playful nod to the 18-year age difference between them. But what was supposed to be light humor created something entirely unexpected. A spark. The chemistry between them was undeniable. It wasn't just acting. It felt real, and everyone on set saw it. When the film premiered, it became a massive box office success, earning more than $266 million worldwide. Alongside the glowing reviews came whispers. Diane Keaton and Keanu Reeves, 2 stars from different worlds, were suddenly being linked in a way that no one could quite ignore.
It didn't take long for the gossip columns to catch on. Reeves had recently broken up with actress Lynn Collins, and people noticed Keaton visiting his home in the Hollywood Hills. There were reports of private dinners and late-night conversations that seemed to stretch into the early morning hours. Could the quiet action hero of The Matrix have truly fallen for Hollywood's queen of romantic comedies? The tabloids dubbed them the odd couple, and though no joint photos or confirmations ever surfaced, the rumors grew louder. Then in 2006, Diane appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show and, with that signature twinkle in her eye, joked, "I'm going to marry Keanu Reeves. He likes older women." The audience roared with laughter. The media didn't. They went into overdrive, analyzing every look, every touch, and every on-screen moment. In her memoir years later, Diane remembered filming Something's Gotta Give with deep fondness. She praised Keanu as kind, generous, and warm, but she carefully sidestepped the rumors. Reeves, just as reserved, responded only with soft smiles when asked, always describing her as a remarkable artist. Even when the whispers faded with time, they never truly disappeared. Whenever they appeared together, that flicker of something between them returned. In 2020, Diane and Keanu reunited on stage at the Academy Awards to present the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. They laughed, teased each other, and even recreated a moment from their film. Fans exploded with excitement. The old rumors came rushing back. Director Nancy Meyers herself posted on Instagram, "Who knows, maybe they really were together."
Then came October 18, 2025. A week after Diane Keaton died from pneumonia at 79, Keanu Reeves stood before a crowd at a premiere, holding back tears. "Diane was special," he said softly. We loved each other, truly. The world went silent. For years, people had only speculated. That night, he confirmed what many had believed all along. Their love story wasn't fiction. It all began that autumn in Los Angeles. Diane would arrive on set with her effortless confidence and bright smile. Keanu followed quietly, with his gentle manner and dark hair falling into his eyes. As Nancy Meyers guided them through intimate scenes, something shifted between them. After one day of filming, Diane took his hand over coffee and whispered, "Keanu, sometimes love finds you when you're not looking for it." He didn't answer, just smiled shyly. But the connection was there, and everyone around them felt it. As the film's success grew, their late-night conversations deepened. She visited his home. They sat by the fire talking about love, loss, and art. Diane began sending him handwritten letters filled with poetry about living fully. But behind Keanu's quiet smile was a man still haunted by unimaginable pain. Years before Diane entered his life, Keanu had suffered two devastating losses that would shape him forever. In 1999, he and his partner, Jennifer Syme, were expecting a baby girl. They'd chosen a name, Ava Archer Syme Reeves. But on Christmas Eve, at 8 months pregnant, Jennifer went into early labor. Ava was stillborn. The delivery room was silent. Keanu was shattered. Their relationship couldn't withstand the pain. They parted ways, though their bond remained. Then in April 2001, tragedy struck again. Jennifer died instantly in a car accident at just 28. Keanu carried her coffin at the funeral, burying her beside their daughter Ava at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery. After that, he retreated from the world, riding his motorcycle for hours at a time, searching for a silence that could numb the grief. "Grief doesn't go away," he would later say. "It just changes shape." It was with this pain still carved into him that he met Diane, and she too had stories etched into her heart.
Diane often opened up to Keanu about the men who had left their mark on her life. Woody Allen, her first great love, a man who made her laugh endlessly but could never give her the home she dreamed of. Warren Beatty, handsome and romantic, who once flew across the country just to hold her hand on a flight. Made him after 15 years, "Marry me or let me go." He walked away, leaving her heart in pieces. She looked at Keanu with a quiet honesty one night and said, "If we start this, don't break me." He wanted to promise he wouldn't, but the ghosts of his past had already built walls too high to climb. In 2004, at a small Santa Monica restaurant, Diane knelt before a stunned Keanu and said, half laughing, "Marry me, let's just live." He wanted to say yes. He wanted to run with her into a future that wasn't burdened by the past. But he couldn't. "I'm not strong enough," he told her. "You deserve someone who isn't trapped in yesterday." She stood, smiled gently, and whispered, "You're the best man I've ever known, Keanu. You just have to forgive yourself." Their 18-year age gap didn't matter to her, but for him it was an invisible barrier. Diane, confident and seasoned, had already lived a lifetime of stories. Keanu still felt like he was trying to find his own. In early 2005, at a small Venice Beach cafe, they parted ways over cold coffee. She hugged him tightly and said, "You'll always be someone special." Diane continued her free-spirited life. She adopted 2 children and never married. Keanu retreated into his quiet world of motorcycles, acting, and silent kindness. Their paths rarely crossed, but when they did, like at the 2020 Oscars, that spark still lingered. Fans never forgot.
Born on September 2, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, Keanu Charles Reeves had known instability from a young age. His father left when he was 3. His mother moved him from country to country, Australia, New York, Toronto. Dyslexia made school difficult. Acting became his escape. After small Canadian TV roles, he moved to Los Angeles. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989 made him a star. My Own Private Idaho and Point Break in the early 90s proved his talent ran deep. Then Speed made him an action hero. And The Matrix in 1999 turned him into a legend. But behind the fame was always loss. River Phoenix, his closest friend, died in 1993. Jennifer and Ava in 1999 and 2001. Those wounds never healed. They simply became part of him. He never married, never had children, and remained almost invisible off camera. Fans spotted him on subways, in parks, sitting alone with a quiet grace that made the world love him even more. In 2014, Keanu returned to the spotlight with John Wick, a character shaped by love and loss, a story that mirrored his own pain. The role reignited his career and introduced him to a new generation. Even at the height of fame, he stayed humble. He donated much of his earnings to visual effects teams and stunt crews. He lived quietly in his Hollywood Hills home and rarely flaunted his wealth. In 2022, he was blacklisted in China after attending a Tibet charity event. He didn't fight back. He didn't issue statements. He met the controversy the same way he had met grief, with silence. In 2019, Keanu's relationship with artist Alexandra Grant became public. They had been friends for years before falling in love. Their relationship is calm, private, and grounded in mutual respect. They've never married, and they don't need to. But even with Alexandra by his side, the story of Diane Keaton remains a chapter apart. It wasn't scandalous, it wasn't loud, it was quiet, private, and real.
When Diane passed away in 2025, Keanu was in New York. He sat in silence, remembering their autumn days, her laughter on set, and the letters she had written him years ago. At the premiere shortly after, he whispered, "Diane taught me that love doesn't need to be perfect, just honest. I wish I'd been brave enough." Their love story never had a Hollywood ending, but some stories aren't meant to end with fireworks, only with the warmth of something real. Today, Keanu Reeves is both one of Hollywood's most beloved stars and one of its quietest. His net worth is estimated at around $380 to $400 million, thanks to The Matrix, John Wick, and decades of work. But he lives simply. His Hollywood Hills home reflects who he is: minimalist, calm, unpretentious. He collects motorcycles, not headlines. He helps people quietly, without cameras. He has donated millions to crew members and hospitals, often anonymously. Fans call him the nicest man in Hollywood, not because of his fame, but because of his kindness. Diane Keaton and Keanu Reeves shared something rare, a love that was quiet, private, and real, buried under years of silence and fear. And when Keanu finally spoke after she was gone, the world listened. Because sometimes love doesn't need a grand ending. It just needs to be true enough to be remembered. Do you believe theirs was one of Hollywood's most beautiful hidden love stories? Share your thoughts below. And if you love hearing about the real, untold histories behind the stars, the love stories, heartbreaks, and moments that shaped them, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We have so many more stories to tell.